Hey guys, we are going live shortly to talk about the 2020 Oscars Academy Awards. We'll be covering about the big winners, Parasite, of course, winning Best Picture, Eminem appearing out of nowhere, Martin Scorsese doesn't look so thrilled, and so much more. Join us in this live stream. Hey, what's up, everyone? It is me, Albert Dharma, today, joined by Matthew Chen and Cole Sanders, here to talk about the 92nd Academy Awards, the 2020 Oscars. And yeah, this is a sudden thing. I did not plan this. Nothing was prepped. I just invited these two last minute as well. So we have no idea how this show is gonna go, but we'll see what's gonna happen. But I'm just here because I'm really excited, especially because of the big winner, Parasite. That was the big announcement of the night for Best Picture. And we'll cover most of the categories. We'll run through the lesser categories per se, and then we'll talk a bit more about the big five, I guess. But yeah, do you guys have anything you want to say before we go through the categories first? Any comments, anything particular that stand out about the ceremony?
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good ceremony overall. I feel like the nominations in general were a lot better than last year's. That's just kind of my opinion, I think. But the actual show itself was pretty good. It felt pandering at points, but like overall, it's fairly well, and they kind of got through it. And I think the hostless method is kind of working, in my opinion.
Yeah. The only comment I have about the hostless method is that they have people presenting to introduce other people, and they introduce other people. So that's like quite useless. Even George McKay made fun of it at one moment. And yeah. There are a lot of surprises in terms of ceremonies, in terms of just the result, but as well as ceremonies. Janelle Monáe's opening, Eminem appearing out of nowhere, like I said in the opening, with Scorsese doesn't looking so thrilled. James Corden and Rebel Wilson appearing as cats, introducing the visual effects. What other moments in terms of ceremony that stand out to you guys?
I mean, the cats one was those. The cats was a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Because they're acknowledging it. I think that's the better way to go on that.
And it was funny to see that.
Yeah,
if it wasn't for the win, I think it would have been my favorite moment of the night for sure, though.
Yeah. Kristen Wiig and Maya Rudolph was pretty funny during their speech.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's just go through the nominations and the wins. So, Matthew, you have the list in front of you.
Yeah.
Why don't you go through them, and then if we have a comment, or if you have a comment, just take a pause and then just say your thoughts. Just say the category and directly say who won it. No need to go through all the nominees.
Okay. Yeah. So I am. Let's see. Should I start? Where should I start?
You know what? Let's just go with the shorts first, because that's I'm pretty sure between us, only you've seen all the shorts.
I have seen a couple of them, but no, I haven't seen. I wasn't able to watch all of the shorts, but.
Let's go with the documentary and let's go with the shorts, and then we'll move on to technical stuff a bit.
Yeah, so short film animated. This one I did see. It was Hair Love, and I thought it was deserving. I preferred Kipple, but both were great.
I have no comments about these.
I saw Hair Love. I enjoyed that, and then Kipple was fairly good. All the other ones I hadn't seen. That's just kind of the circumstances. But I personally thought Hair Love was fantastic. And considering that it was in front of Angry Birds 2, it's probably overshadowed, or I guess undershadowed. But yeah, that was I think that was a great win, especially compared to the rest of the category, which were either really safe or really experimental. But yeah, that's my thoughts.
All I'll say is that I've not seen any of the doc. I've not seen any of the documentary short subject, nor the animated short or the best live action short film. But I got all my ballots right, and I just want to thank Scott Mans, Perrin Nimrov, and Jeff Schneider of Collider FYC, because I listen to that show. That's my go-to Oscar show, and they have the best predictions. And the reason why I'm second place in terms of the weighting system and second place in terms of just the total wins, I'm gonna credit it to them. So yeah. Shout out to those guys.
That's how I did mine too. That's how I did my short.
Oh, did you really?
Prediction too. I watched them too.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, why don't you go on, Matthew?
All right. The other one, next one, short film live action, The Neighbor's Window one. I did watch The Neighbor's Window because that's what Collider Video predicted, and I thought it was okay. But I know some people could get more out of it. I personally did not.
All right. Yeah. No comment in there as well, as I said earlier.
Yeah, same here.
And documentary short, I did not get a chance to watch any of them, but Learning to Skateboard in the War Zone, got that one.
It have a cool title. That's all I'll say.
I got the chance to see that based off of the prediction, and I thought it was really good. The rest of the category, from what I heard, was kind of average. So, but yeah, that one was fairly well done. Actually, through A&E of all people. So it was kind of hard to stream, but it was worth a watch for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And documentary feature.
And documentary feature went to American Factory, which I also haven't been able to watch any of the documentaries.
I did see American Factory, and I think that was fairly well done. Out of all of them, though, I actually kind of wanted Honeyland to win. In personal preference,
Honeyland also was nominated for Best International Feature Film, so that's kind of big for them.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah,
American Factory is worth a watch, though, for sure. I'll say that much.
Absolutely, yeah. I'll definitely check it out after this win. But yeah, I'll just say it while we're still in still in this realm about Honeyland and everything. The Best International Feature, of course, Parasite won. It wasn't a surprise.
Yeah, no.
It probably would have been an upset if it didn't win. But yeah, that was one of the earlier awards that was handed out, I believe. But yeah, the win was no surprise. And I believe we covered those. You know what? I'm just gonna go with, I say one of the biggest. I don't know if this is even an upset, but one of the biggest surprise of the night was Toy Story 4 winning.
Yeah.
For animated feature, because there was so much buzz going into Claus, and that was one that I missed. I voted for Claus as well, even though I've not seen it, but I've heard so much. It's been winning a lot of the guilds, so that's why I go for it. But I say it's a surprise.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I also went with Klaus. It won a bunch of the Annie Awards and it won the BAFTAs, so it had a lot going in.
What about you, Cole?
Personally, I would have wanted that. Personally, I would have wanted Klaus or I Lost My Body to win, but I did really like Toy Story 4.
Yeah, out of the category, I wasn't necessarily a fan of Toy Story 4. But going into it, I kind of felt like it was the safest pick out of all of them. But yeah, like you were saying, Albert, like there was a lot of words going around about Klaus, especially in a space where 3D animated movies, are really thriving right now, and it's kind of the standard. The fact that we're having like a 2D animated movie that's very well done with 3D assisted tools is really fantastic, and it's all from ex-Disney people as well. So it's kind of a little bit of a middle finger, which is really good in my eyes. But everything else in that category is pretty great, though. How to Train Your Dragons is the only one I hadn't seen. But yeah, I Lost My Body was fantastic. And Missing Link, although Missing Link is what it is, it's I feel like Leica is going to deserve it no matter what, because all their other features are fairly fantastic. So, but yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting that Toy Story 4, a sequel, won Best Animated Feature. I cannot remember when the last time, aside from Toy Story 3, when the last time a sequel won animated feature. So good for them. I don't know when else.
Yeah.
The which one?
It might be the first sequel of us, or
the first sequel to win animated feature,
and have two Yeah, both of them
two
win,
animated
too.
feature. Yeah, I don't know when else. Probably Toy Story 5 when that happens. But yeah, that's it. That should be.
Do you think it's the first 4 to win, like the first 4th entry? Or I don't. That's probably a stretch, but
The thing is, there's
for
not even that many franchises that go to the 4th entry.
right, that's what exactly like.
Yeah.
And by that point, most likely they're not going to be in awards, contending. So I think it might be a monument in that case, for the number 4. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm gonna run through the technical stuff. If you guys want to stop me on anything, let me know. So visual effects 1917 winning it. I picked that too, so I wasn't too surprised, even though I would have loved to see Endgame win it, but yeah.
I was slightly
Yeah.
disappointed, personally. I thought that the revolution or the new changes made with Irishman was really fantastic, considering the new technology that went into that, especially capturing a performance and de-aging without tracking and all this other technology that goes with it. That was my pick personally, even though it was kind of out of love, I guess. But yeah, I think 1917 is not a bad contender. There's a lot of great visual effects in that movie as well.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, 1917 also won for best cinematography. Roger Deakins winning that award again. His second win out of yesterday I researched
16,
it.
7,
16. Yeah, 16
something like that,
nomination,
right?
which is insane. So yeah, Roger Deakins winning that. 1917 also won sound mixing, while Ford versus V Ferrari won sound editing. So yeah, that's that. And Ford v Ferrari also they kind of win big in this
They
year's
got 2.
ceremony. They not a lot of people thought they would have won anything, but they also won film editing, which I thought Parasite would have won, but they got the film editing, and it's like it makes sense. It totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Best makeup and hairstyling, Bombshell. No surprise there to me. Best costume design, Little Women as well. Not a big surprise. Best production design. This one was sort of a toss up because it could have been Parasite, could have been 1917, but Once Upon a Time in Hollywood wins it, which props to them. I do think they did a good job with that. And yeah, best original score, Hildur. I'll just stop there. I'll just say Hildur from Iceland, who did the score for Joker. It's an awesome score. So yeah, well deserved. And of course, best original song, "I'm Gonna Love Me Again" from Rocketman. So yeah, any of those stand out to you guys?
I'll say editing. I was a little surprised that Ford vs Ferrari took that. Kind of like what you were saying, that like I going into it, I didn't think really had any contention. But then realizing over the night, there's still some love, and yeah, I was a little surprised, but I'm so glad I got the recognition. And "I'm Gonna Love Me Again" was a fantastic song, so I can't say anything wrong about that.
How about you, Matthew?
No, for sure. Editing, I was kind of surprised on, but it also makes sense given how quick the cuts are. But they also worked with the racing, and yeah, I mean everything else I think was pretty straightforward, pretty predictable.
Yeah, it's predicted for most of us, I guess, that those are the one that's gonna win. So yeah, let's touch on the acting wins, and then we'll go to the screenplay, and then the directing, and then the best picture. So I feel like the acting nominees are like pretty much locked, because there's been so many they win in previous award shows and everything, that the 4, Joaquin Phoenix, Renee Zellweger, Brad Pitt, and Laura Dern, I feel like they were locks. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, same here. I don't think there was any really. I mean, there was talk some other choices, but I don't think. I think going into it, yeah, like they were pretty much locked in. Especially Laura Dern, I think, has been locked in pretty much the whole season. And
Right.
I think there was really there's no way that that anybody had any chance in that category.
Yeah, I mean, Brad Pitt was a huge lock. Laura Dern too. Joaquin, yeah, the one that was the most possible to be an upset, I say, was Best Actress. But then again, Renee Zellweger have so much buzz going into it.
Or maybe
Uh,
just any of the Scarlett Johansson roles because she was double nominated. So
that's the thing.
both actors were
I thought
supporting.
because of her double nomination, they split the votes, and that's why she didn't end up winning anything. So yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, those are standouts definitely. Brad Pitt. This is his first ever Is this his first ever Academy Award
First
nomination?
win.
First win, but it's not his first
Yes.
nomination.
No. He's been nominated for 12 Monkeys before. First one is an actor because he also won for producing 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah, he won for producing 12 Years a Slave, but this is his first win for that. So that's huge for him. Especially since people usually just think of him as like a movie star and not like an actor. So this one's kind of big for him. John Petrovich, thank you. Yes, Hilder, good. I'm not gonna say it. I still cannot pronounce it, even though you tried to tell me. But yeah, Joaquin Phoenix speech. The man can say whatever he wants. He won the award. He can say whatever he wants. It was talking about that, about the milk cow thing. That was interesting. Although how he ended with the tribute to River Phoenix, that was good. And yeah, Laura Dern talking about the heroes and her parents and everything, that was sweet as well, and Renee Zellweger too. So yeah, I have no more comments aside for these. I thought they were all worth it. The wins, it was quite a lot. But yeah, any comments from you guys?
I also wanted to bring up Brad Pitt's speech about how he talked about stuntmen and stunt performers and how hoping that they do have a category for them in the future.
They really should, because stunt work is such a big thing, and then people don't recognize it enough.
Yeah.
So I feel like
I absolutely agree.
Hopefully, eventually. All right. So with that, we'll go to the screenplay nominations and the screenplay wins. So Parasite won Best Original Screenplay, and Jojo Rabbit won Best Adapted Screenplay. I'll start first. This one, I was really happy for both of them because I was rooting for both of them, and I both had them in my ballot as well. And this one was, I believe, this was when Parasite won. This was the moment where Bong Joon-ho was just standing in the background admiring his Oscar. There's a GIF going around if you can see that. It's so good. And Taika Waititi also ended up hiding his Oscar below the chair in the
I saw that. Yeah. that was interesting.
So yeah, it's the I'm gonna combine this with the Best Director because Bong Joon-ho win, and the only reason why I'm gonna combine this conversation is because Parasite is personally my favorite movie of 2019, so I really wanted to win Best Picture, but I recognize how the Academy does stuff, and sometimes they don't reward the best film as Best Picture, and so I thought Sam Mendes was gonna get the Best Director, and that's why I'm hoping Parasite will win Best Picture because sometimes they flip it like that. So when Bong Joon-ho wins Best Director, I thought like, 1917 is probably gonna win Best Picture. I was nervous going that, but then eventually did won Best Picture. So I'm just really happy for that.
Yeah, I am too. I think I'm really happy that it's getting the recognition that it deserves, and I think post Oscars the conversation's been kind of tilted in the way that nobody has seen this movie, and it's clearly not the case if you look at the box office numbers. And I think that I'm glad it's getting the recognition it deserves, especially especially for direction. I think Bong Joon-ho, especially compared to his previous ventures, this is kind of learning from everything he's done, and I think it's really built up to this point in his career where he can make these movies that are really, just really well done overall with themes that aren't too in your face, which is kind of what I loved about Parasite. But on top of that, I mean, man, talking about original screenplay, it's such a great screenplay overall, that I think that even in a tough year, like you got Once Upon a Time in there, right? And that's Tarantino's known for writing fantastic screenplays, and so I think, especially in a really tough year, it's really great to see it shine and kind of get through this season, with the recognition it deserves overall.
Yeah, and especially it being a foreign language film, like getting the screenplay win is a big deal too.
It's huge, and not to mention they're both winners for the screenplay. They are it's a diverse winner, Taika Waititi and Bong Joon-ho. So that's big as well for Hollywood. And yeah, like you said, it's a tough batch right there for both screenplay nominations. And yeah, just the fact that they won is just awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, best director, as I said, Bong Joon-ho wins it. Were you guys surprised by this?
I was surprised. I went with Sam Mendes because I predicted Sam Mendes for director and Parasite for best picture because I thought they would just split the 2 and I was surprised to see that Bong Joon-ho won this.
Cole?
I was definitely rooting for Bong Joon-ho for sure, and I had him for my choice personally. I think overall, like I kind of said, the categories this year are stacked, and so I think Sam Mendes had a chance at the beginning, especially kind of closer towards December. But as the conversation's been building up, I think the Academy voters kind of recognized what was going on here. The fact that it won international and then went on to win Best Picture, I think is kind of a good achievement too, because when you look at it, right, like they're not just recognizing it as a fantastic international film, they're recognizing it as a fantastic film. And I think that's the biggest part of this conversation that we should be having, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, Neon is the one who released Parasite, I believe. That's correct, right? So it's a great job on them as well. And in terms of just Netflix, they released some great stuff. I don't think they won that much this award season, even though they got a lot nominated. But I don't think the one that won the doc that they released.
Right? Yeah, they got American Factory and then Laura Dern for
Marriage Story, which is the first one for Netflix for an acting award. Right.
Yeah, in a way, I'm not surprised. Like I feel like the Academy is still kind of in this transition phase where Netflix and streaming services are kind of the hot topic in a way, because we don't want to. There's some sense of we don't want to recognize this as the medium, but then we also have to recognize that these movies are fantastic. And I think that the release schedule of some of these kind of hindered its chances. Like I feel like The Irishman had a great buzz at the beginning, and then as the conversation went on, especially with the runtime, as long as it is, I think that in a traditional theater setting, I feel like there would have been more leniency than something like Netflix, where they're already under scrutiny for the most part, even though I don't think it's deserved personally.
I mean, even Chris Rock make a joke that Scorsese, I saw the first season of Irishman. So talking about which him and who was he standing next to? Is that Steve Martin?
Steve Martin.
Yeah,
they were really great, cracking making fun of everyone over there. But yeah, you said this year is stacked, and I honestly think it's because just how accessible everything is nowadays, in terms of in terms of like streaming service and the word of mouth spreading so much easier and everything. It makes things that there's way more films for us to see, so that's why it's so stacked. And yeah, so Parasite winning Best Picture. I wish one of us had, because we were in a watch party, I wish one of us had recorded that, because that room went nuts. I know Matthew was jumping around. I screamed. John Petrovich was in the chat. He went insane. Andrew also went insane when this won. And it's crazy. And if you see the ceremony too, everyone was like really happy. Everyone seems surprised and really happy as well. And it's just, I think it's because, once again, most people arguably said that Parasite is the best film of the year, and it's a lot of people's favorite. And it hasn't been the case for the Academy for the past few years, where the most favorite or best film per se won the Best Picture.
Yeah, that's true.
I know that's a subjective thing, but like for the most case, when you think about it, it's it doesn't happen too often. So the fact that that's why everyone on Twitter is like, "Oh, the Academy finally did it," because it's apparently that's the case.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cole, when Parasite won, how were you feeling?
I was ecstatic. I mean, it was my second favorite movie of last year, Under the Farewell, personally. But which didn't get the nom, unfortunately.
They did with big in the Spirit Awards, though. In the Spirit Awards,
that's true. And back in the Golden Globes, I like seeing Awkwafina win for that. But what I'll say is that I feel like the audience seemed to be fairly content with its win. I don't feel like anybody was kind of split, kind of like a couple, like, I don't know, like, especially with Green Book, I felt like you could kind of tell the audience was kind of, they were happy, but they weren't like ecstatic. I feel like everyone's appreciation of this film, and they're recognizing what it means overall for the industry. It's really fantastic that it's winning. And I feel like I was still surprised, though. I thought that knowing how the system works for Best Picture, I went with a safe choice for my personal pick, because I just felt like the Academy just didn't have it in them to give it its recognition. But I'm really happy that they do, and I'm really I'm hoping that this trend continues forward, where we recognize good films and not averagely decent films.
And yeah, I forget who said it, but someone mentioned how like the top two contenders, at least going into last night, the biggest conversation was either Parasite or 1917 to win Best Picture, right? And someone said it best, and at least to me, it's like when you watch 1917, it's more about admiration, and when you watch Parasite, it's more about passion. Like I can sort of see that argument, and I say that's quite true. And yeah, Parasite ended up winning 4. 1917 win 3 awards. Ford v Ferrari, Joker, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood won 2 each. So yeah, those are the wins for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, literally, Parasite win big, being the first non-English speaking film to win the Best Picture.
Yeah.
And everyone was really happy. They literally turned off the lights, and then the crowd's like, "Oh, put it back on, put it back on."
To bring them back, yeah.
Let them enjoy the moment. But yeah, dude, Bong Joon-ho was really he's I'm pretty sure he's still celebrating right now. He's still drinking.
Yeah, he's probably still drinking.
He's like static, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, I also, once again, like what Cole said, it's all about timing. And literally, if the Oscars take place like a couple weeks from now, who knows, maybe 1917 would have the buzz again, and they would have won the Best Picture again, because it's literally all about timing. I feel like it's because 1917, when it came out, there was a lot of big talk about it when it premiered. And then as of recent, there are the award shows. All the award shows for some reason are like very close to each other. Even the Spirit Awards was literally one night before. So I feel like there was a lot of conversation, and then the people who's like, they see Parasite winning, but they haven't seen it, and they're like, "Oh, what is this?" So they check it out, and it's still in their head. So it's like more recency bias, and then they end up voting for Parasite. I feel like that could have been one of the reasons why. But yeah, I'm still happy regardless.
I think Neon did a great job of re-releasing the film, because it got its initial release was very good, and it was getting a lot of recognition. But I feel like Neon kind of took that and they went with it, and they re-released it and promoted it, and they really put their effort into getting this movie out there, especially to the American public, where I feel like as much international praise as it has, it's been out in Korea for like almost 6 months or like 9 months. It's been out for a while, right? So I feel like they knew what they were doing, and I feel like I feel it's deserved, but in a way, it's kind of about the system. How you get your movie out there and how you get people to see it, whether it be through screeners or showings or just general word of mouth.
And then especially once again with how everything is accessible nowadays, I feel like that's going to be a bigger thing too, because people can just easily get it on digital or something like that. So yeah. Matthew, you have anything to add?
Not too much more. I mean, Parasite, it was my number 1 of the year, so I'm just really excited, and it's the first foreign.
Yeah. Matthew, I think, is frozen. So while we try to handle that, John did ask something quite interesting in the chat. So, How do you think Parasite winning Best Picture is going to change the cinematic landscape? More foreign films getting a chance in America, subs versus dubs. And Matthew is back. Matthew, you lost connection, so we don't know what you said. But yeah. Is Matthew there? I don't know if you can hear us, but yeah. Anyway, so Cole, why don't you want to answer? Do you want to answer this?
That's a pretty big question. I think I don't know if it necessarily will change the cinematic landscape. I feel like we're in a time where especially the release schedule does really matter on these kind of movies. But I feel like overall this does set a great precedent going forward that we can recognize these films for what they are. They're just great films, right? But the conversation of having more films getting the recognition within America, I think this is a great year, and this is such a fantastic film that I feel like it shines through the cultural barriers. So it's tough, and I feel like it's one of these case scenarios where I think personally that some of these films that are coming in aren't necessarily exactly what American audiences want. But I feel like this message does connect with us, especially at our time in our country right now. And I feel like it really works. And if we're talking subs versus dubs, I'm gonna say subs, but dubs may be animated. I don't know. Just thought.
Matthew, you have any comment on this?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's this is like a huge step forward in the landscape, and I think this hopefully more people will go out and watch more foreign films. And
yeah, I'm gonna admit it. I'm one of the few peoples that, even though I am not from this country, I haven't seen a lot of international films. I've seen a lot of Hollywood films. I haven't seen a lot of international films. So I mean, this definitely piqued my interest even more to check out more international films from all different countries, because I know there are so many great ones that people just don't know about because it's just the language barrier. People's like, oh, probably too lazy and everything. And I just want to. Before we wrap up, I do want to ask one more question to each of you guys eventually, but I just want to shine a light to, have you guys seen on Twitter? There's this guy who went viral because he went so angry because Parasite won, and he's so pissed off that Joker didn't win, and the fact that his argument was like, who here have seen the film? Nobody, and it's about he's arguing the fact that Joker is about like mental breakdown and no one listening, and it's about the what's it called, the difference in terms of the economic status and everything, class difference and everything. Right. And that's literally what Parasite is all about, and arguably did it better. So it's just funny that people say all this stuff all the time, but they just don't give a chance to actually seeing it. So once again, let's definitely give recognition, baby steps. I don't know how much the Academy will push going forward in terms of this, but definitely baby steps going forward. All right, so yeah, let's wrap up by doing this. Since Parasite from South Korea was a big win for this one, so what is like one international film that you guys would recommend for someone, or an international film that you love that you just want to share to let the people know that they should check out?
I can start. The one I always generally recommend is a German film called Run Lola Run. It's a really stylized action movie. Came out early 2000s. It's one of my favorites. I've really connected with it, in the style especially. I don't feel like it gets enough recognition, so that's my pick.
Run Lola Run. There you go. How about you, Matthew?
One of my favorites is Y Tu Mamá También. It's directed by Alfonso Cuarón. It's about these two boys. It's a coming of age movie, and it's one of my favorite films. So, yeah.
And yeah, talking about coming of age films and for international films as well, there's an animated film that I totally adore called Kimi no Nawa, or Your Name, that is from Japan. And that is one of my personal favorite films of all time. It's amazing. It's beautiful. And also, just one more thing to shout out from my home country, The Raid, probably one of the best action films of all time. So yeah, those are our recommendations. So before we wrap this up, is there any more comments you want to talk about in terms of the ceremony, in terms of the wins, or anything else that you guys want to say that you haven't got a chance to?
Yeah, can we talk about the Eminem thing?
I can't believe we just glossed over that. Wow. Okay, we're saving the best for last. Let's talk about Eminem.
So it's okay. I don't even know. Was there any official word on like why he performed? Because I was very confused.
I mean, like he won the award 2003, but he didn't accept the speech.
He wasn't there for it, so I guess
he is promoting a new album. He's having a new album coming up, I believe.
he did. Yeah, he just released a new album.
It just feels so out of place. It's not the place for it. He's rapping.
Yeah, like it's not leading into anything. It's kind of just there. At our watch party, we were kind of theorizing that somebody didn't show for the actual one of the musical performances. And that's what we thought. I personally thought they were kind of filling out the time. And they just asked Eminem, hey, can you come out and do this? But then everybody performed their song. So like, I don't know, like it just seems like it's there to be there. Martin Scorsese's reaction was pretty priceless though. I'm not going to lie. Just for that alone, I think is worth it.
Yeah. It's totally, it was unexpected. No one saw that coming. It feels kind of out of place once again. And some people seem to be enjoying it. Some people just seem confused. Billie Eilish looks very lost.
I thought she had a great performance though in the in memoriam section. I feel like they did. Her and her brother did a great job on that, especially with with something like that. It's really hard to do, and especially when it's such a difficult subject to kind of go over. And you got to be there to represent for that for sure.
I just noticed one thing also in the in memoriam. Apparently, Luke Perry wasn't there for some reason.
Yeah,
I don't know why. But maybe it's because he did a lot of television work, and the Academy focused more on films. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, he did more. He
was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So
The only other comment I had about the ceremony was that I felt like the Academy did a really great job about not pushing people off during their speeches and giving their time to what they needed to say. And I feel like especially like Joaquin, like he got his time to shine for sure. And whether you like the message or not, I feel like it's the Academy recognizing that we shouldn't kind of push these people off just because we got to get the show going. Take the hit where you can, and figure it out, instead of kind of just making it work for the show.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, once again, they win it, so they have the opportunity to say whatever they want. So definitely, given that chance, you should let them speak, because you never know when they could say something important that could be very influential and everything. So yeah. Matthew, anything else you want to add?
Nothing else I can think of.
I mean, all right. So, I mean, if we, I feel like we cover a lot of stuff. We cover the songs. We cover Elton John's performance. Awesome. We cover all the songs, the awards, talking about foreign films and the impact that it might bring to the Academy going forward. We talk about the highlight of the show, Eminem and Cats. So yeah, I feel like we cover most of them. So
actually, we could talk about the other performances. Besides Eminem's performance, all the original songs got to perform.
Yeah, I mean they all did amazing. Cynthia Erivo. Cynthia Erivo was great. Randy Newman, he was good as well. I mean everyone performed. So yeah, that was great to see, as expected. And the multiple international Elsa for Frozen 2. So,
yes.
I have no more comment. I think.
I don't know. Do you guys have any snubs that we didn't really talk about that?
I mean, once again, there is snubs, but I'm happy because most of this one that got snubbed won in the Spirit Awards the night before, which Aubrey Plaza did an amazing job hosting, by the way. Yeah. And if you have not seen, literally check out Adam Sandler's speech, just for the sake of the speech, and the Safdie brothers speech for winning. They have an amazing speech. So go check that out. Also, the Farewell winning big, like Cole's favorite film of the year, and one of my top films as well. So, and of course, Olivia Wilde winning for Booksmart, so there was a big recognition for as well. So, overall, I'm just happy. I'm happy for this award season.
Yeah. No, most of my stuffs are just from the nominations, but from these wins, I didn't really. There wasn't anything I like didn't like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cole. No.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like I said, everything was pretty stacked. I really couldn't tell you something like if anybody else in these categories won. To be honest, I don't know if I'd be that upset because I feel like it was such a good nomination this year. Maybe Greta Gerwig not getting nominated for directing is a little bit of a snub for me personally, but personally, I mean, everything that got nominated this year was fairly fantastic, and I hope the trend continues forward.
Absolutely. And once again, if I could just say one more thing for the Oscars, increase your amount of nominations, especially since there are more films that people can see nowadays. There's nothing wrong with giving more they're still gonna have one winner. It's not like they're gonna have multiple winners. As long as at the end of the day, it's about recognition. It's about bringing like awareness about this film. So I see no harm in having like a 10 slot nomination for Best Picture because they apparently have that, but they never did, or just increasing the nomination for all the other categories as well. So yeah, that's my last comment, I would say. All right then. So with that, if you guys have any social media that you guys want to plug, you can do that now. Cole, Matthew.
You can follow me at Insta at T Cole Sanders. Not too frequent of a poster, but keep up with me. I usually like to update, especially towards award season.
Matthew.
And yeah, my Instagram is Matthew P Chen. Don't post too much, but yeah, that's my Instagram. So.
I thought you guys are gonna plug your letterbox or something, you nerd.
T-Cole29 on Letterbox. I'll definitely plug that.
Yeah.
Matthew has seen the most on Letterbox, so yeah.
Yeah. Same username, so.
Yeah, and you can find me as usual, J.A. Wiradharma. Wiradharma spelled like my last name right there. That's on Twitter and Instagram, and for Letterboxd, Jaw Movies. So yeah, keep updated with my channel, guys. Subscribe and leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the Oscars. Keep the conversation going. And I'll probably also make this into audio form as a bonus episode for the Councilmen. So if you're listening on audio, let me know what you guys think. Let me know on the comment section below. If you like this kind of stuff, then I'll probably post more bonus content, stuff like that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching and listening. And until next time, we are out. See ya.